Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to BNN.
First approaching Dr. Boniface at his church, Kemi posed as a secondary school graduate, the daughter of a widowed mother who wanted admission to UNILAG to study in his department. She also pretended to be 17 years old, under the legal age of sexual consent in Lagos. 2 days after making contact, Dr. Boniface invited her to his UNILAG office for a tutorial. At all times, our undercover operatives carried a panic button.
Alright.
Justin.
Yes, I can hear you.
If secretly activated, the rest of our team who were hiding nearby would be alerted and come to the rescue.
So sit down. How old are you? 17. I look very big like this.
And minutes into our conversation, this doctor had complimented me 5 times about being a beautiful girl. You're a beautiful girl, you're beautiful, you're very beautiful.
Don't you know you're a beautiful girl? Do you know that? You are not beautiful, we are very beautiful. You are a very beautiful girl.
I could tell that the way he was talking to me was not normal.
You know I'm a pastor. Do you know I'm a pastor?
I know.
Good. Do you know, and I'm in my 50s, okay? What will shock you is that even at my age now, if I want a girl of your age, 17-year-old, all I need is to turn down, put some money down, and I'll get her.
Really?
Yes.
I can get any 17-year-old girl I want. I just have to give her money. In my mind, I'm like, hold on, did I just hear this man right? I applied for...
And then, Dr. Boniface promised Kemi admission to UNILAG if she passed her exams.
Pass your exam, I'll give you admission.
Are you serious?
I'm an associate professor in French.
Then he invited me to his church. I attended. And after some days, he invited me back to his office. Good afternoon, sir. He more or less picked up from where he left off the last time.
You are a beautiful girl. Be angel. You look like an angel.
Even though I wanted to talk about admission, he basically forced me to engage in this weird prayer with him. The weirdest prayer I have ever seen in my life.
You already see Lord Jesus.
Size little by little.
Lord Jesus.
So the prayer just went on and on and on.
See Lord Jesus Christ.
Lord Jesus Christ,
I love you.
I love you.
I accept that you are my Lord. God.
His legs wide open, jiggling his groin, with this very uncomfortable grin on his face. Come upon me as I said, Lord Jesus Christ.
As my personal Lord and Savior.
As my personal Lord and Savior. My eyes were never closed during that prayer. My eyes were wide open because I was uncomfortable. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
To the kingdom of God.
Thank you, sir.
Don't worry about admission. Welcome it.
After he shook my hand and welcomed me into the kingdom of God, it felt like I had been accepted into his secret world.
And what is this start knowing men?
What do you mean by knowing men?
What is this start having sex?
And he began to show a deep interest in my sex life.
That way, you have said, I don't feel this as having carnal knowledge.
Carnal knowledge.
At what age?
Why do you want to know?
I don't want to know. You're my baby, you're my daughter. Just talk to me free. Look, anything that we discuss, be assured that your mother will not hear.
Okay.
And anything that has come between me and you, nobody will hear.
Okay.
The final time Kemi was invited to meet Dr. Boniface in his office, it was a Saturday. He said it was quiet and nobody was around. We had a bad feeling about this meeting, so we called in extra security to keep guard outside Dr. Boniface's door.
Sir, you don't need to stress yourself.
He offered Kemi non-alcoholic wine.
Thank you, sir.
Serve.
Okay.
It became clear to me that it was all a ploy to get me to be comfortable.
Yes. Okay. I'll be obedient, sir. No, sir.
I will to direct you properly.
Okay, sir.
So that you achieve your aim. Enough.
We went from talking about me getting admission to him requesting consent from a 17-year-old to kiss me.
Do you want me to kiss you?
Okay, I've heard you, sir.
Answer. Do you want me to kiss you?
Do I want you to kiss me? No, I'm not talking about you kissing me. I'm talking
When
about...
I wasn't giving him the kind of response he wanted, he became angry.
You want a kiss?
Do I want...
A kiss.
But this time, he wasn't smiling anymore.
If you want me to kiss you, switch off this light. Lock the door. I kiss you for a minute. That's what you do in the courtroom. Then you switch on.
My hands are shaking, my heart is beating, but I'm still trying to stay calm. I'm still trying to do my work as a journalist. It's one of the most difficult things that I've ever done in my life.
If you agree, I agree. Authority will work here. Nobody will hear. Your mother will work here. You will tell.
After I refused to give him consent, he stood up and went to the bathroom for a moment.
He remained in there for just over a minute.
Stay calm.
In my head, I'm thinking, I'm this close to getting hard evidence on this man. So I had to weigh my options, to press the panic button or just wait to see how far he would go.
Time for courtroom experience.
Did you lock the door?
Yeah, it's locked. This is dark. Come.
Sir?
Come first.
I'm close to you already, sir. Sir?
No, sit down. I don't want to stop. Come close.
Sir, I've gotten the code room idea.
Come close.
Okay.
Sit down. Sit well.
It's okay.
Look. I'm scared of you.
Yes.
My baby. My big baby. No, wait. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to harm you.
Okay, sir.
It's okay.
Dr. Boniface eventually released Kemi when she made an excuse to go to the toilet.
So that was the courtroom experience, eh?
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Once there, she locked herself in.
Danny, are you ready? Okay. I'm coming.
I called a member of the team. I wanted him to hear my conversation on the phone. I wanted him to know that somebody was just waiting right outside. And so when I finally came out, he starts to laugh at me.
You are shaking. Stiff. You are so stiff. See you. I love you, baby.
It made me feel so small, so irrelevant, so like I was some kind of toy for his entertainment.
Dr. Boniface then warned Kemi there would be consequences if she didn't continue to see him.
Okay.
I can call you to come any day. If you don't come, then I know you have gone. Then I'll tell your mom you are disobedient to me.
Okay. You know, there are so many women who have experienced things like this, even more awful experiences, and they just keep quiet. They just suffer in silence because of fear, because they feel no one will do anything about it.
All right, bye-bye.
Fix your friend.
Okay, sir.
This is not a story about bravery. I don't think I am brave. I think I'm somebody who sees injustice and I refuse to be helpless, and I choose to do something about it.
We put our evidence to Dr. Boniface, and he did not respond.
BBC Africa on 7th August aired a documentary on their channel about how professors sexually harass their students in exchange for favors and grades, and I actually applaud this story that they told because it's quite heartbreaking. That story was so hard to watch. Me as a man, it was... I hope that this story is out now, that we can no longer normalize such acts of inhumanity. How do you force a girl who's 17 years old? And I've seen arguments on Twitter and even the professors who were dragged and exposed in this documentary saying that they cannot be held liable because, one, these were not their students, they were people who trapped them, and two, in this case, for example, that she was not actually 17. At the time, the professor actually knew and understood that this girl was 17. He used his power and influence, and when he just walked into that room and closed the door and turned off the lights, I'm not sure I can relate the way women can, but I was scared. Anything could have happened to this girl, and we've had so many cases of men being rejected by the women they're after and them lashing out and killing them. The way she was saying in the documentary, how the man asked to kiss her for 1 minute and she refused, and then his mood changed all of a sudden, and now he's angry, and now he's doing whatever he wants regardless of what she says. She said no, but he did not listen. He did not give a fuck at all. Covering this story, it's really made me depressed today. Like, I'm really, really sad that this actually is allowed to happen. After this documentary aired, the lecturer has been suspended from the university. They put out an official statement, which I can show you here. And also the church he was actually minister of, they also have distanced themselves from him and said they do not support what he did. A lot of people on Twitter also looked through his history and they found his social media links. He has a Facebook page, and they also found that he was actually a board member of a children's welfare NGO. And how do men like this have such powerful positions with vulnerable children? Dr. Boniface responded to the allegations and said in a statement, "I work for the University of Lagos. If you want any reaction, talk to the university. Contact the information unit and they will tell you the correct position. If I talk, I will be running foul of the varsity law. Don't put unnecessary pressure on me to say beyond what I have said." And this statement is just ironical. Now he's hiding behind the university and hiding behind rules and regulations when he didn't have any problem prepositioning a 17-year-old and actually sexually harassing students, going by all the first-hand interviews his alleged victims have made on this documentary. On Twitter, there were a few fake accounts created in his name, and I honestly do not understand why anyone would create an account in this bloody person's name and actually defend him and speak as if they are Boniface. In tweets, they said they were innocent, said, "If I am sacked, how will I feed my family?" saying it's a lie, saying I slept like a princess. And I can't tell that they're fake because they only started tweeting almost 3 days ago. They've never been active. So I don't understand what kind of monsters would actually pretend to be Boniface and actually speak on his behalf on Twitter. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So this story was actually hard to watch, but I do appreciate the truth is out there. Now every abuser is put on notice. Your day will come. Your day will come. Anyway, guys, that's all from me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.